iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted in league events with AI Racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Hello and welcome. Tonight we head to Charlotte Motor Speedway Classic Circuit here to take on the fourth and final round of the oval section of Season 8 of XSLR, or the Cross Series League Racing, to give it by its full official name. I'm Tim Cox, been with you every step of the way. Practice just ongoing right now. Drivers out on track, not too far away from qualifying, which will be coming up for you in about a couple of minutes' time, 10 past the hour, before we get stuck into qualification. And then, of course, coming thick and fast your way is racing at this iconic circuit that's home to the largest high-definition screen in the whole of the world. Useless facts for you, some may argue, from a useless commentator. But there we go. That's up for debate. And talking about large debates, or maybe even mass ones. Go figure. This guy will be not taking part in qualifying on Thompson. That is because, well, a little bit of a noise, but he should have taken the end of line and not qualified last week. However, he didn't. So that means that he'll be doing it tonight. Unlucky. And again, as well, also 5 penalty points deducted for him, as well as an additional end of line as well. So he will, in a week's time when we head to Spa for the first of the road courses, he will be taking that end of line there as well. Oh, double end, double drama, double the debate. We love it, really. Many drivers also have got that likes of Kevin Owen one to watch out for. A big week as well for this guy, Wesley Carber, who, well, bagged his first podium ever. Having only been on the iRacing service only, what, for the matter of a couple of weeks. And, you know, what a way to do it. What a way to do it. And there we go. As this car disappears, that signals that we are heading across now into qualifying to see the Roval in the road course in the infield there. Also, kind of make up parts of where the dirt course goes as well. Also to mention, to boot too, the Shortfield Oval, which takes part in the start-finish straight. You're just about making it along there, and also into the pit straight as well. Tries taking the track. There is Carver heading out on track. 10 minutes of qualifying available to our drivers. Who's going to take pole position this evening? Not far away from finding out. Nathan Stein, one of the drivers who worth keeping an eye on. He is as well. I think there's a lot of potential with him in that 93. Of course, we also, for the race section, will be utilising these street stocks there too. Also on the Nürburgring combined circuit. So there's Grand Prix and the Nordschleife. That could be an interesting one. Could be interesting, that one. Definitely indeed. Definitely indeed. So it's waiting for time to come in. Justin Hall, the first one to start his flying lap. No, John Corrin. First lap on the board. There you go. 37.1 Hall. Half a second slower. Stein, I said he was one to watch out for. There you go. Top of the time sheets. First driving the 36.9 from him. Who's on good lap? Stein is looking really, really good. Wesley Carber as well. There you go. No messing around. Skims from Suji. 1,000th of a second faster. Wow, as he's nudged down there. Corrin up in second. That's on his second lap. What's Carber going to put in here? No improvement in Sector 1. I don't think it's going to be an improvement. Suji up in front of him. Let's stick with Carber. Oh, a bit loose there. 2,000ths of a second is what Suji beat him by, and it's no improvement from him. Yet to set times. Kevin Irwin going up into fourth there, displacing Suji down one. Shane Trott taking to the car, track in the free. Heading out. Bobby Ross has just set. It's gone purple. Faster than anyone in Sector 1. Watch out for this. What do you got in Sector 2, Bobby? The second half of the track. Through the tri-oval. He comes. Oh! And he can't beat Stein. He goes slower. Much slower in comparison. He goes second. Andy Kostick drops down to third, though. Here comes Trotter with his first flying attempt. Time on the board. Right, well, that's good enough for ninth. The bottom of the people who have qualified so far, but just look at how tight it is. If he can find a 10th, that'll get him above Hall in the 240, who lies 8th. And also, that'll promote him up a row on the grid too. Tyler Browning coming with his first lap. Here we go with Trotter. The run to the line. What's it going to be for him? He's gone faster in Sector 1. Much faster than Hall as well. And Carber in front of him. But it's that failed final sector means that it's only good enough for second. So 8th place. But it does get moving up around the grid. Tyler Brown now, the one to watch out for. Howard not setting a time. Obviously, Thompson can't set a time. See what the 821 gets in his first lap. Strong first sector from him. This could be a good time. Goes 5th. Good start for him. What we got on this second lap? Let's ride on board with him. Is he planning on the track? Past that massive HD screen that I alluded to earlier on. Look at those tyres scrubbing away as he comes through 3 and 4. Across the line we come. Is it an improvement? Yeah, that's upper place and upper row as well. He joins Andy Kostick on row 2. Sun setting. Oh, looking very picturesque, may I add, here. At Charlotte International Raceway. So let's see if we can get in some nice pictures here of what it's looking like. Just setting out into the sun. And here we begin the weights. Right. No Thompson. And Howard, just waiting for him to take to the track. Will he be taken to the track? That's the big question. And plenty of in chat. Moist. No, it's Moist Mint. I always call it Moist Mint. I will get it right one time. Andy Cosick. Fans in there. How many laps is the race? Well, that is an excellent question. And I can't remember. It's a allotted amount. Oh, hello. JVC. It's fun. Hello to you, sir. Of course, if you tuned in earlier on to the Weekend Warriors Formula Ford race from Knock Hill, in reverse as well, could have been the first Spec 2 driver, which is the second category, to ever take a race victory. Certainly within the Formula Fords, and I think potentially in the whole of Weekend Warriors history. What a race, and what scenes that would have been. But back to your original question, I will try and find out because I've completely, it slipped my mind. I can't remember. I won't lie to you. And it is going to be 80 laps here tonight. But with them only being 36-second laps, it's not too bad. But it all comes down to those cautions, doesn't it? How many will there be? Still got time to qualify. But well, we see him. So we just begin a little bit of an interlude here and just find a happy place, a calm place. How will it be, though? Will it be calm? Will it be fast and frantic, the run to the line and this up? What's been a busy and emotional weekend, hasn't it? Of course, some may argue President-elect Trump being shot at, and sadly, these people losing their lives. Don't want to see that ever. And also, England losing to Spain in the Euros final only hours ago. Another missed opportunity from England, but the first time we've reached final outside of English soil. And God bless Gareth Southgate doing his bit for us. And keeping us right in the fight there. We have got a minute and a half left, so let's put it this way. If Jimmy Howard was to come out, not that way either, he would have time. He would have time to get, one lap in solid. He would run out of time. Of course, we have got the hard and fast shut on qualifying. So, no overtime here. So it would have to be one and done for Howard. I don't think we're going to see him, if I'm all honest. He does like to start from the rear. Stop it. But we need to wait. No, we have got... Oh, yeah, he's definitely not going to get time in now. Definitely not, because it is, 36.86. It's our fastest lap set by Nathan Stein. Now, if you double that, well, that's well over a minute. Of which that first lap wouldn't be as fast as his fast lap, of course. So, we've just sat here. We're counting down the clock now. We have got 30 seconds left now. To think. You love this combo. Well, who doesn't? Street Stocks, the great little cars. I think it's going to be really interesting. We head to the road. As I mentioned, the road section kicks off in a week's time when we head to Spa. Will definitely be an interesting one from there. Before we head to Laguna Seca, a week off, and then they're going to bring combined to the GP and the Nordschleife before we round things up at Watkins Glen on the Cup layout. That's going to have a little bit of a vibe. Of course, NASCAR run the Cup layout, but it's going to have a little bit of a vibe, of an oval. It always does. There we go. The flickering the graphics can only mean one thing. Oh. Is that we're... There we go. Right. Just... Oh, for God's sake. Why won't it go away? There we go. Now we can bring up grid as it sorts itself out. Davidstein on pole. Bobby Ross joining him on the front row. There's Andy Kosick and Tyler Brown on row 2. Corin and Irwin are going to make up row 3 with Corin and Irwin. And then Suji and Carber. Where's Carber? A great qualifying early on. A bit disappointing they couldn't fully hold on to that one. Even so, he starts 8 on row 4. Row 5 and to round out the top 10 is Shane Trotter and Justin Hall. Thompson obviously picking up that EOL. Not able to qualify. Howard not setting a time. He starts at the back. 12-car grid. That does not mean anything in terms of lack of action, as we've seen off the Atari this season. I was about to say Porsche 911 safety car, but it's the Ford Mustang. Just waiting on Thompson to take to the grid. And then we'll be able to go racing. 80 laps here tonight from Charlotte Roval. Leaving it late. He's only got 15 seconds in which to join. Otherwise, he will be starting from the pit lane. Howard has joined us. You see him right down the end in the 37. There he is. As Thompson just populates in. And here we go. Mustang pace car about to pull away eventually. There you go. Pulls away with a wow. Very interesting. Of course, iRacing home to it's accurate car modelling and racing lines, especially with their new AI system as well. That was definitely not realistic. I'm not going to lie. I won't lie to you one bit about that one. Stuck down in the midfield is Kevin Irwin on the high line. Going to be an issue getting away potentially. And on board with the 7. Also, there's going to be a bit of work to do, and sure a few of the drivers. You've got Carper starting on that inside. No, he's on the outside, apologies. Now we get on there. So, starting at the rear will be Howard on that high line. Expect him to work with Thompson, come through the field. Back starting to close up a bit as they enter into 3. Mustang just sitting there pretty. 80 laps coming up for you. We do have 4 course yellows. They are going to play a part of this story here for us tonight. Pace truck in. Here we go. Barney's ready with his flag. Let's get ready to go racing. First time this evening as we are green. We are racing here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sign off in control. See how it just starting to make a bit of progress in the back there in the 37. There he is, moving up through the gears, up through the places, up into 9th already, up 3 places. Now to the back of Trotter, moving to the high line. Trying to carve his way through. Has to sit in. Meanwhile, back to front, largely unchanged other than Carbo's at 1. Let's just say that change around here. Brown over Kosick. Coming down low, that low line starting to work a little bit early on here. Kosick, it's hung out to dry a little bit on that outside line. Sticking with Stein in that 93. I was about to say, you know, top 6 unchanged. Well, that was until they hit the back straightaway. As we're looking very skate coming off the corner there, sliding around. Question is, when will we have our forced caution off this evening? Oh, Thompson in the wall there. At 2:44. Meanwhile, up front, it's Ross back into the lead. Brown on that high side. Saying that Stein in that 93 on that high side. It's the 821 of Brown. He's like tucked in just behind at the moment. In that white livery. It's simple. It's pure. It's down to third. Ebbing and flowing right now as everyone moving down low. Caustic really losing out in these early stages. The 50 down to 5th place. Not the start you would have hoped for. Hall and Thompson getting cut adrift now. They are stranded potentially. They're going to need a caution to bring them back into play, bar a complete out-and-out miracle here. Oh, just clipping the wall there. I think, was that the free of Trotter, potentially? Got a bit of a graze there. Won't affect things too much if he can stay in the flow. Of course, drivers will have to stop in this race. I suppose our next game to play is how long before our first caution of the evening. Really got into the groove now, this top four, starting to work together. I think you've really cleared Caustic in that 50. It's the most mint. Although he's starting to get a bit of a queue forming behind him that can't work out how to get past him. Trotter, Irwin, Howard, all involved in that one. Sushi at the Carver right to the back. Carver after that strong start, just dropping down a couple of places now, having started 8th down in the 4th. Howard now at 4th, Trotter up 3. Corrin up to the front in that 58. After just sitting there, just biding his time early on. Ross bolts, opening up 4/10 of a second gap as we start to form two lines now for the first time this evening. First time really seeing that start to come into play. Stein for starting on pole. Oh, I thought we were going to make it 3 wide there across the start-finish line. We'll pick up that bonus point for qualifying on pole. Oh, and Corrin having a bit of a blink there. That is going to be unnerving for the people driving around him. See, our cameras couldn't even pick things up as we're free riding in the background there. Thompson, Carver, and Hall trying to work together. But sitting that far back could come in handy if there's a big one between our front group. Well, they'll be well clear of it, but I tell you what, look at this guy right now. It's Jimmy Howard. And he is making shapes out there. I'll tell you what, let's ride on board with him. 37. There you can see just really forming part of that pushing crew down on that low line that's involves not only himself, it's Ross in the 33 at the train of it, and then you got the 821 of Brown as well. It seems to be forming up. It's shaping up here as they come out into, well, they're technically a tri-oval. section here at Charlotte. Just fanning out. Everyone looks a little unorganised. A bit skatey coming through there. And this group's starting to break away our top 5. That secondary group of 4 cannot get into line at all. Suji, Trotter, Irwin and Kostic all involved in that. Kostic is practically like he's in reverse in that 50. He's dropped 6 places so far. We've got our trailing trio of Thompson, Hall and Carver, the 244, the 240 and the 35. As that gap is stagnating at about 4.5 tenths. Between our top group, although they are reeling it in, they finally stopped bickering, formed a line, and are closing the gap up. 1.2 seconds though, the gap from Kostic at the rear of that secondary train to Thompson, who leads the charge of the rear trio. And there you go. They got away that top 5. But the group behind are right on their heels now. 14 complete out of the 80. Oh, it's getting a bit listed there. The 93 just having a bit of a shove from 58 in the corner. Just really unsettling them there. So down from the drone, they come flying on by. Start lap 15. They really get a bit of an appreciation from this angle. Exactly how this is all folding out. A little bit better. Down that back straightaway they go. And it's Ross who pulls up to the high line to allow the crew through. Clearly fed up of leading the pack, fed up of using up all his fuel, wants to fuel save himself. Expect to see him tuck back in, but where will he tuck in? But look who's up into second. It's that 37 again once more. From the back of the field to second. All in 16 laps. And will he push? Yes, he will. There you go. The 821 just getting the nudge from the 37. So they go down into 1. And oh, it's getting a bit loose there. Up on that high line. They just cannot get themselves together. It's Ross starting to feel squirmy in that 33. It does not look happy, certainly, without that 58 pushing it from behind. Pushing into the corner and beyond. Low looking strong once again. That's where the grip seems to be. It seems to be where we're making the most progress. And this for me feels a little bit like 33 and that 37 want to get together. They've got long history in this league together. They know how each other works. They understand when they can push and when they can't. Hats off to that trailing trio because they've plugged that gap. And it was 1.3 seconds. It's now down to 600ths of a second. And they brought right back up onto it. I changed beat. They do this for an hour. Not quite. There will be crashes. There will be incidents at some point. I mean, you could argue. I mean, that's just over racing as an hour. As a whole, it's just winding down the clock until it comes towards that run to the line. There's like 10 to go. That's when things get truly lively. But an instant field race 1 week ago. And, well, just about recovered from it. And again, the 58 and the 33 just starting to struggle a little bit here. On board with Howard again. Out of California. Well, Nevada now, officially. Yeah, feathering the throttle, really. Kicking in there. Trying to feel safe, just trying to keep in line. Everyone back together. And still, Kosick, after a great qualifying, starting on the second row, falls further back, down into 11th now. There's all that high line, all of them just followed one another like a bunch of sheep. Oh, scraping that outside wall as... See that 244 just starting to find its way down onto that low line, squeezing for a bit of a gap there. Highest position that's been for all the entirety of the race. Quarter of the race complete here. Again, that high line getting way too close to that wall. It's going to be, well, potentially it could be race ending, and it could be the catalyst to start the big one here. The low line looking way more comfortable. Certainly more safer. They're going 3 wide there. The 3, almost making contact with the 7. And before they again go 3 wide, that is not good. And the 244 has clipped the 93, and around they go. And well, that's going to space everyone out, but we're still racing because that will not bring out the yellow. But there's damaged cars out there. And this could really space them out. It could cause a lot of trouble. And that 93 of Nathan Stein falls right to the back of the field. Meanwhile, Brown in the 821 leads, and Hauer is pushing him through. And the 3 of Trotter is coming with them to boot. Oh, I think we're going to see the 8 just drop off the back, maybe all looking a bit spaced out. 0.86, 0.88, 0.89, that gap is dropping. It's out of draft range. Carver staying with this front group, though, in 7th, in that 35. Just on the rear end of this train, just out of camera shot. Behind the 7 of Irwin, who you can just about make out there every so often. And there is the 35 of Carver. A red and white Coors livery car. Pushing up high again, and well, the 33 and 58 just can't seem to quite work together. Can't seem to make it stick. Trying to get to the front, but that high line is not the happy place here at Charlotte Speedway. There's 2.2 seconds as Thompson, well, gets dropped into the group. You can see the damage on the right side of the car. That other train going to come on through. They are now 2.3 seconds behind the lead group, who are, well, gone off into the distance. There they go. I'll make it hay while the sun shines. See the gap there between the two groups of cars. Let's look at that 35. It's starting to make progress and come along to join that low line that's pushing their way through, and the high line now slipping further and further back. It's car at a time. And it takes about 5 laps to do so, but that weaving certainly from 58 Corin, that Napa livery car, that weaving down the start, finish, down the back straightaway even. Ross does not want that. He wants a firm target, something solid that he can work with, that he can push to help push this high line on through. Down the back straight they go. It's all calming down again once more. Into 3 they come. But Erwin looking a bit high there. And Kosick now down to the back of the field in that 50. Him and Stein, the big losers out of this. Howard riding high. He's up 8 in 37. And still, no major incidents so far. We came close a few laps ago. And finally, the high line gets themselves together. This push, the 58 of Corin out in front enough that he could maybe just swoop down. Ross might feel aggrieved that after all that hard work of pushing him, that he gets abandoned. We will need to pick up some of the slack there in the 7. Like, oh, the rear of that 3-car train on the high line. But again, just moving around from that 58 of Corin. It's not helping Ross. In that 33. And again, they're really close to the wall on exit. Nearly scraping that as Ross just basically drifting through the driver there. A lot of drivers start to move around. Looking squirmy through corners. These cars do tend to move around a bit, but a few of the drivers would probably have been hoping for our first full course yellow of the evening, but that has not come. We could see green flag stops here. So we're approaching half race distance. It's going to be 6 more when they take the, well, head across the start finish line as they've just done. But again, that 58 just seemed like it's just grazing the wall. The group behind me, wow. They have gone. They're nearly 3 seconds back, and they are not catching. They're not even maintaining. They're actually just dropping 100ths of a second at a time. This group at the front, despite looking disorganized and fully functional, are actually pulling away. Bit by bit, inch by inch. Again, it seems to be the resurgence of that low line once more. It's Brown in that 821. Oh, the blink. And that is what Ross is scared about. He doesn't know when Corin's going to come back in. Erwin scraping the wall on the outside once more in that 7. If he keeps doing that, that's going to really hamper his progress. Drivers do have a fast repair available to them, and you can bet your bottom dollar Erwin will be one of those drivers utilising that one when it comes to the stops. Oh, yeah, we've gone yellow. We've gone yellow. Something has happened. And it's Kosick who I think may have gone around here. Full course yellow. Here's what happened. Down from the blimp. Oh, okay. Right. I think there's a little bit more to that. I took it off maybe off... yeah, just a bit of a bump there. Was it netcode? I'm not sure. We'll I'm really... Let's... we'll roll that one again once more. See if we can... Did he get a nudge from the rear? Was it just a little bit of collective? He did. He did, and that's what sent him around. Meanwhile, everybody in at the front. And pretty much, I think, other than Cossack, he's just making his way round now. Yeah, everybody in. We are at half race distance, so it's going to be inevitable, realistically. But who's going to make it off pit road first? As Brown in the 821 was in the lead. Of course, the car's jacked up on one side to change the tyres, then the other. Will someone go with two? Will someone be brave? We're going to see everyone pretty much go with four. I think four might be the sensible option here. 37. And I think the 244 might be one of them. I may have only gone with two. Starting at the front of pit road there, having qualified on pole. But who will make it off first? We'll look down pit road. We'll get to find out if here people firing here, revving up their engines, getting ready to get going. Here. Flame spitting out of exhausts. But there you go. Yeah, it is. Gonna be the 821 off pit road first. And there we go. I spoke about it. The shorter stop. 244 at Thompson. Clearly going for only two tyres. Few drivers maybe feeling to fuel a bit more. I think it's going to be Cossack. He's going to be the last driver off of pit road. Let's bring you up to date with how they're going to form up. So the 821, and then it's going to be the 58. The 244 making really good progress there. 93 as well. They've gone with clearly a bit of strat there. I'm not too sure how either. Maybe just a bit of bunching down pit road. I mean, Stein had a... Yeah, I think that whole group just tripped up over one another coming down pit road, and that's what's cost them a time. Howard, for example, there he is in the 37. Was 11 seconds slower compared to Tyler Brown in the 821, who was at the front of the group. Just picking up the pace car now. What's the longest stop too? Lights have come on the pace car. Headlights, that is. The flashing beacons on top. I'm sure you'll have some American name for them, which you'll slate me over. I'll tell they're called orange flashers or something stupid. Well. They're off on that car, and that means it's going to be in this lap. There it goes. Brown leads the way. Thompson, Stein, Howard, Trotter, Ross, Irwin. Ross, a big loser in the 33. But he went for all four tyres. That could be what powers into victory here tonight if we go green for the entirety of this race. I mean, literally, gone yellow, pretty much smack on halfway race distance. I think we could be in for a solid finish here. 4 in 1 line on that low line. The 821, the 58, the 93, the 244, the 37, the 3, all involved in that. The 33 cut adrift though. Can make it up in the slipstream. Ross won't want to be cut adrift. He's got a chance of winning this now. He knows he's got the pace and the power to get it done on the racetrack. Again, that 58 just not looking very comfortable when it comes to the pushing game. Just moving around on the back of the 821. Our leader, Tyler Brown. There's a 244 into the wall. Holds onto it like a bucking bronco, though. Moves up high, and that could all potentially, if we end up with a run to the line situation, that could be the telling damage that costs it dearly. As Thompson now slots back in down on that low line. Stein, I think, in the 93, that's just getting held up high a little bit, and there's almost contact there. And that's, I think, Trotter off the track. As they all shake down and try and sort themselves out. A big loser out. That one was Stein in the 93, who falls well. That's a slot in behind Irwin. He's in 9th and the 7. Stein dropping down to 10th after, well, making it off pit road so well and coming out in 4th place. Great work by his pit crew to get that one in and out so quickly. But all the drivers, interestingly, well, they had bad stops from 6th downwards, with the exception of Stein. He had a decent stop, but has fallen down. Of the drivers that had poor stops, they're in this top group. It is only Howard in the 37. It's pulled up high. Is hoping, and well, look at that. He's got good pushing company, hasn't he? 244 in the 33 are Thompson and Ross, who all know each other very well. It's the newcomers on the low line versus the old guard on the high line. Again, they just get that little bit too close for my liking to that outside wall here at Charlotte into 1. Interesting one for me, though, is that 35 of Carver and the Coors livery. Because this guy with what seems to be a lot of momentum at the moment off the back of his podium 1 week ago. Oh, and well, that could have been a moment there. Corrin in the 58 lost it big time, had to use Howard in the 37 just to leverage against him and hold on tight, but he falls right to the back of the field. And now that 821 has got no one to push with. Will the 37 and Howard just slot in down low? Was he going to allow that gap to close up? Are they all going to work together on the outside line? They're going to try it. They're going to try and make this one work here. But it's all to no avail. They should have slotted in when they had chance behind the 821 of Tyler Brown. They go at it once more down the back straightaway. It feels like it's just one big push away from Howard. Heading into the lead here permanently. The rear trail of Corrin, Stein and Suji and Kosick involved as well. So it's actually a quartet. Cut a drift, 1.9 seconds the gap now. They're gone. It's 2 seconds. It's 2.1. Well, this front group just break away and continue to do so at a rapid rate of knots. is still edging between Howard on the high line, Brown on the low line. Maybe they might be pleased with, you know, the slight connection issues that Corrin was having in the 58. Just to see the back of him, because it's unpredictability, and that's the one thing you need when oval racing. It's predictability. Suji, in fact, he's dropped right off the back. This might have kind of a bit of a clip with the wall. And we've gone yellow. We've gone yellow. Corrin is around, I think. Yeah, the 58 sideways on the track. Something's happened to him. I think maybe Stein involved as well. There we go, the 93. Quarter up 2, and it's happened on lap 51, 11 laps later. And it's going to be Brown. He's going to come in first. Howard second. Trotter, Thompson, Ross, Carber. And, well, gives a chance to that rear group to catch up once more. And let's see as they catch up with the pace car. Exactly what happened between these two. Well, they've already had a bit of a coming together there. Right in front of Kotzik, who did well to avoid it all. So it's happening way... Alright, let's see if we can... So they're trying to push, I think, to try and close up the gap, but did it into the oval, into the banking, into one, and, well, it just didn't work out there. Oh. Look messy, look nasty. And that's what it definitely was in the end for those two. So, interesting. Right, so Thompson, Carber, Suji, Stein and Corrin all into the pits. Whereas our top 7 now, Brown, Howard, Trotter, Ross, Irwin, Hall and Kosick all remain electing for track position. So we've got at least another lap under yellow here. Those lights on the pace car. Suji first off up pit road. Thompson's, well, penultimate driver off pit road. Trying to get that damage repair that he had earlier on where he clipped the wall on the outside of 1. Not long after we gone yellow. There we go. We're saying it. Yes, and it's fun, actually. Yeah, it does happen. It does go yellow once in a while. If you're interested in joining, make sure... Well, either drop us a message here in chat. And I'll drop you a link to Discord. Potentially that should work. Also, search best way, search up on Facebook. XSLR. Cross Series League Racing. Find us there. You can get into the Discord and get you out on track. Cash prizes. Yeah, I did say that right. Cash prizes are available as well. So the top 3 in the championship. So, lights are off on the pace truck. We'll be going racing once again at the end of this lap. Howard on the outside line. He would have loved to be down low on that inside line. I think he could have worked with the 821 of Brown. We saw it earlier on. But the car behind him is the 33 of Bobby Ross. He will have to push him on through. Pace car in. Let's get ready to go racing for the third time this evening. So we are green. We are away. Tyler Brown away. Will Howard come down though? Will he swoop into that second place? Yes, he will. Slots himself in nicely there. Mission accomplished for him, surely. As in the background there, just all trying to fan out and make their way through. Irwin in the 7 up into 4th. That's a good result for him. Ross, a big loser, drops from 4th to 5th. Sounds worse than what it really is, but in terms of track position, he was vying for 3rd. Now, he's got to tuck in. Also, Carver back to where he started in 8th, having run up as high up as 5th earlier on. Free one in the background there, Suji Stein and Corrin. Will they sort themselves out? Yes, they will, but Suji in that 29 that's going to have to tuck in. Will get left behind. The outside line is not going to work for him. Meanwhile, back up front. Well, that high line's starting to form once more. And it's Irwin and Ross that have gone there. And they're followed there by Trotter in the 3. That's going to open up a big chasm on the inside line. And Kosick will definitely be one driver looking to fill that void. But he elects to go high. With the 7 and the 33. Or does he? He mind sweeps the back end and he drops down low. He could see the 244 of Thompson just starting to come up into that gap. Didn't want him up in this business, and Ross is trying to push Irwin in that 7 up the field. But they can't seem to get it to work. Can't seem to get connected. Yet again, Kosick dropping more places. Last time around, Stein setting the fastest lap of the race out of interest. They for start for running well early on. And having, started in the front row of the grid of 2. Falls down on the wayside. And he's going to be disappointed by that one. Looking good enough for 9th at the moment, but that's about it. In this stage of the race as well, yet again, the 3 pulls up high, not sure whether he's trying to block or just trying to get the push or something off that group led by the 7 on the high line. Needs to commit and go one way or the other. But you can see the 33 of Ross is really pushing that 7, and it's almost a trio push between they and the 244 at the rear end, that crap and Thompson. And they are making progress now. And, wow, Kosick down to the back of the field. Might have been one electing to, wishing that he'd have gone with them. 3/4 race distance complete. Lap 60 out of 80. Still, it's that low line. That is working. Brown, Howard, and Trotter all down there. But I can tell you, Justin Hall in that 240 starting to look a little bit racy now. Feeling like he's been impeded by the lack of progress that the 3 of Trotter's not making. He wants on by. Can he find a way past? Trosser not looking that stable in his lane, and I think Hall just not too sure what he should do. Doesn't want to cause a wreck. He's going to take out everyone around him. And if you've already used a fast repair, which quite a few of these guys have, just a minor knocks and bumps and graces with the wall. Let's talk about that. Stein in the wall. The 93. Oh, and then shimmies off. I think that was Suji in the 29. Yeah, it was. And because of this, I think Kosick and these two could end up getting cut adrift. And with no caution in sight, they're in trouble. Just like this low line, the high line finally starting to get together, starting to work. Hasn't done in quite a while. But Erwin getting nudged to the front of the pack. It's neck and neck between himself and the 821 of Tyler Brown. Thank you to our sponsor, Bayview Shade and Blind. This series. So now Corrin joins that high line in the 58. Two distinct lines. And that high line seems to work briefly imperious, but then it falls back again. And we saw it earlier on. Getting a little bit close in the mid-pack there between Thompson and Hall. $15 to go here from Charlotte Motor Speedway on XSLR. That's a season 8 now on slow motion broadcasting. Coming up for you on Thursday night here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. We've got Simcar. They'll be back with us. They'll be live from VIR. Round 2 of the championship. Let's return of the Weekend Warriors on Sunday evening. Formula 4s and Spec Racer Fords. Of course, they're late into the night here. Well, certainly for me anyway. In the UK. For XSLR. We head to Spa. And again, that low line just working. You see a few people abandoning the high line. 244 Thompson just dropping down in low. Well, if we don't say that, then dips back up high. But Ross is dedicated to pushing that 7 of Irwin. Relentless with it. We've got 12 to go here with Charlotte. And while I confirm that group behind of Carver, Kosick and Suji of all God, they're out of the equation. They need an instant ahead in this group. But where's it going to come from? Certainly Brown and Howard look very, very comfortable in that inside line there. First and second. There's all that may well have been. Oh, they're in the wall, they're in the wall, they're crashing, they're crashing. There's been a wreck. And there you go, under yellow. Who's involved? Well, it's not Carver, it's not Shuji or Kosick, but Bobby Ross caught up in that one. Let's take a little look what happened to them all. Well, you can see it just all broke apart. The pushing and the shoving. And I think it was Justin Hall in the 240, Thompson in the 244, and of course Bobby Ross in the 33 that were all caught up in that one. And you could feel it brewing, couldn't you? You could feel it starting to happen. Let's look into this mid-pack here. So you see that high line. Oh, and Hall just comes up, trying to slot into a gap that wasn't there between Ross and Thompson. And that's what brought out the yellow here on lap 70. We've got 10 to go. Hall already into the pits. I think that may well have been when the pits were closed. He gets for all 4 tyres. He's going to pick up a penalty, and he will go. He's going to go a lap down as well. There's Thompson and Corrin. Does Corrin come in? No. Yes, he does. Ross in as well. All already, and he heads out. Now, where is our lead car? Yes, he's going to go out just before the pace car came round to him. And with the light still on the pace car, that's good news for him. So he'll speed round. They could well end up coming back in again. Try to repair a bit more damage. Thompson for himself, Corrin and Ross first off of pit road. Ross was slowed towards it, so expect him to take a little bit longer. And of course, also go for 4 tyres there. After the spin, that could be a wise move. He's going to have a lot of grip out there compared to his competitors. Looking to make a real good shot at this. One by goes Hall. What you got, Bobby Ross? What have you got in the locker in that 33? So, do the lights go off on the pace car this time around? We'll find out across the start-finish line. Do the lights go out? Yes, they do. So, pace car in this time. And once again, like the last couple of restarts, it's going to be Brown and Howard on the front row. But this time, Irwin tucked in behind there, and he's going to be on the low line. He'll be one to watch out for. Kosik, who's had an absolute dismal race in the 50. Mr. Most Mint. There he is. And he'll be hoping and praying with everything that he's got. Have something happen just to push him up through the field. Having qualified in 3rd. Well, realistically, it's been fluctuated anywhere as high as 8th to the back of the field. Has not worked at all well in race conditions. Or has it been one big bluff, knowing that something like this might happen? And he can be there to capitalise on it. Watch out for him. It's going to be all or nothing from Kosik. But Howard, wow. The driver gained the most places. He's up 10, having started right at the back in 12. And come from the rear. Pace car, and let's get ready to go racing. For the 4th time, under caution. And Howard straight down into that low line. As we're racing, the 37 tucking right in front of the 7. And that is going to be an inspired mood. Everyone's zipping in down low into that low line. Kostic looking a little bit snaky in that 50. He should have stuck down low. It could cost him dearly unless someone comes to his head. Someone comes to push him, but they're free wide. It's Corrin, Thompson, Suji, and Thompson just pushing the 50 through that gap there. They remain down low, but Ross, well, you've got a feel for him. He's been the bridesmaid so often in the race tonight. Will he be the bride? But there you go already. He's made up a couple places from 12th. He's into 10th. That's a lot of hard work with only 6 laps to do it in. The 3 looking snaky. That is Steiner, the 93, just going up high there. Trying to hope someone will come with him. But nobody's having any of it. They're all staying down low. And no one able to really close up that gap to shut him out. As he pushes the 7 through the tri-oval. I'm not sure that's going to be the wisest of move. It's getting a bit argy-bargy in the background there in the midfield. 244 goes high with the 58 and the 33. Can they make something work? The 3 comes up to join them as well. Meanwhile, the quartet at the front start to work together to push each other along. It's 5 to go. There's going to be 4 to go at the line. Oh, big moment there for Corrin in the 58. As Hall in the 240 slams the wall. And that's a car gone. And I didn't clash it. I might have been West Caber. Yes, it was in the 35. But there's a charge on here from that high line. And right now, the 821 and the 37 need to work together like they've never worked together before. It's boxed off and there's contact. There's contact and they're around. And that's Stein. And that's Thompson. And they're in the wall. And we go yellow once more. And you're asking, how did it all happen? Well, let's find out. Let's take a little look. Well, it doesn't show us early enough, really, there, does it? Thompson's crash coming into the pit lane, apparently. Let's see what the 244 does here. Oh. Can't turn one way or the other, and just smashes it into the wall. Right, so we found a good moment here. No, we need to go back even further, I feel. This is where it started to happen. So Thompson just coming up at 93 just there. And I think that lies on the 244 looking at that from that angle. So who's entered the pit lane? Has anyone come in? Well, it's only Stein and Thompson, the 93 and the 244 that head to pit road. Here we go. And I'm sure Brown, Howard and Irwin would be loving for this race to end right now. Thompson fully out of the equation, 2 laps down. No return from that one. So the rest of them, what will happen? So, well, we're getting deep into this here, aren't we? We're looking realistically, probably a green-white checkered. Still under yellow once more. Lights out on the pace car, so that's in this lap. Thompson's still in the pit lane, so is Stein. I think that's going to look like game over for them. Retirement City, they have visiting. Yeah, two bruised and battered race cars. So, comes about the fight between Brown and Howard. 8:21 versus 37. Who's going to take this? So is someone going to just sneak in there? Watch out for that 33, though, of Bobby Ross. This is only over when it's over. And he will play an influential part in this. Starting from 5th, and especially on that low line, he's got Irwin in the 7 in front of him. Could help him. And him being Irwin. Take victory here. Hout will surely feel nervous. He's got people behind him, not sure how they will push him. He'll hope and pray for a gap to emerge out behind Brown that he can just slot into and at least take away second here. Ford Mustang pace car will be in on the exit of 4, and here we are, and let's get ready to go racing. One more time here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we're green, we're away, and Howard slots straight in. He does not mess around whatsoever. As we go for a GWC. Will we get this race finished? Carver just dropping down. He's fully out of the equation. But Howard going for broke, pushing that 821. But look at Ross, he's come up high. Irwin's the big loser out of this. He's gone from 3rd to 4th. He may even drop into 5th. Can Ross get someone to push him there? No, he can't. He has to slot back in behind Irwin. Trotter up into 3rd in the 3. There we go. White flag in the air. There's one to go. So we run into overtime here. This is it. It's all or nothing now. We finished the race. So Irwin goes high. Ross is going to sneak down low, though. And he's just going to sneak on by and say, see you later, Kevin Irwin. Now 7. Howard pushing. He's snug, tight right now to the rear bumper. That 21 of Tyler Brown. It's going to be a run to the line. Out of 3. Off of 4. Here we go. Who gets it? Who takes it? I don't know. And it's going to be the 821 of Brown. The 37 and Howard and Trotter in the 3 will be your top 3 here this evening. Wow, what a finish that was. Well, there he is, your winner, the 821, Tyler Brown. Congratulations to you. Solid race. Solid race for him. Wow, what a race this has been. So they line up on the front straightaway minus Howard, who stuck it in the wall in celebration. There he goes, ploughing his own furrow. Well, we'll have a chat to some of our drivers, excuse me, very, very shortly. Wow, what a race. Let's take you in some Class of 5 results here from Charlotte. Confirming for you, there you go. Brown winning it by half a tenth. Not even that over Howard. Trotter 2nd. Again, half a tenth separating himself. And Ross in the end, so close to being on the podium. Irwin in the end, 3rd at the restart, ends up 5th at the finish. Cossack, well, a great recovery from him, considering as though he had a god-awful race. I spent most of it at the rear end of the field in the 50. Corrin finishes in 7th. Suji 9th. Hall, Suji 8th. Hall 9th. Carver running at your top 10. Stein and Thompson both retirees from this race as they came together. Not that sort. Not that sort. We're going to head across now into chat to some of our drivers. Let's see if they're waiting in the wings. Yes, they are. Just waiting on our race winner, ideally. So we do things in order here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's start with our second place driver. In that case, oh no, here he goes. He's just popped in now. Right. We will kick things off. Tyler Brown will be joining us very, very shortly. What's been an absolutely great race from him. So get everything sorted. There we go. Right. Let's drag him on down. And Tyler Brown, congratulations to you. What a race. What a race it's been for you. Just try to put it into some words, really. It was, I mean, for you, was it just a case of just getting to the front and just staying there and hugging that inside line? That seems to be the line that was working for everyone tonight.
Yeah, that was kind of like the draft was there, but it was real hard to catch on the outside. So I knew as long as I just kind of stayed on the inside of that, even if they got the draft, I was still going to have it on the front stretch.
Definitely, and well, it seemed to be that there's no one in Prudential. Were you ever worried that maybe Jimmy Howard might challenge you, or were you worried? You know, you seemed to form a bit of a bond during the race and were working together. Were you a bit concerned when if it was going to be anyone else behind you other than Howard in the 37?
No, I was actually kind of hoping that the outside line would have caught up, because he did a lot of work to keep me up front and stay up front, and I kind of wish that it made it on the outside line and we didn't have that last green white checkered, because then I think it would have been more down to the line on me and him.
I mean, having said that, was only half a tenth in it between you two at the line, so he just about managed to hold on. Well, congratulations, Tyler Brown. First time victor, I do believe, here in XSLR. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
No worries at all. Let's have a little, we'll move across now into second place driver Jimmy Howard to let's drag him on down and get the graphics ready. Here he is. Well, there's doing it for Dale, but tonight it was doing it for Jerry, wasn't it, Jimmy? Congratulations, started at the back. Some people just don't need to qualify in life, do they? Some people are just, you know, just don't need that hassle.
Yeah, I did it for Jerry mainly. That's my coach. That's my god. But you know what? He also played soccer, so I figured, you know what? I'm going to be Scottish and not qualify, and I'm going to be British by finishing second.
That is so enigmatic and just so well put. Such a great comparison. Were you a bit, I mean, Tyler Brown was just saying that he'd wished that the outside line had got going to give you half a chance to try and take the victory because you'd done so much for him. Again, just showcasing that you're, you know, such a giver and not a taker. I mean, how did you feel? Quite lucky, the fact that there always seemed to be a gap at those last couple of restarts. You just slot in behind Tyler, where the second place on the inside line just seemed to be completely unreactive to the starts.
Yeah, I really wanted to win, but at the same time, I worked with them for 70 straight laps and Shane, so I figured let's just keep this going and not cause any wrecks. And there was no outside lane on the last two restarts, so I just said, you know, F it.
Get on down, get on in. Well, it works out an absolute treat. Congratulations, second place here today, having not even qualified, because only losers qualify. Jimmy Howard.
Thank you.
And well, we're gonna drag on in Shane Howard. It's currently showing up. Sorry, Trotter even. Shane Howard just amalgamating our third place and second place finishers' names. Shane, congratulations. Second place. I mean, it looked a bit rough out there at times for you, but I mean, surely you can't hope for much better than that, considering.
Nah, it was like Jimmy was talking about on the broadcast. I stayed behind him most of the race. I was running third to fourth the whole race. About after I got up from starting in ninth, and once I was able to do it, I just tried to keep track position the rest of the night. I drove through the grass when I thought there was going to be an accident. Made some boneheaded mistakes, but I've been iRacing for about 5-6 weeks, and trying to get better at it. But I love this league, and I'm happy to be here. But a third place is not what we wanted, but we'll take it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, considering you've only been on the service for, a month and a half, similar to Wes Carper in the 35. So, that's twice we've had drivers of your, in inverted commas, inexperience finish on the podium. Obviously, you've got the road section coming up. How are you feeling about that one?
I'm more of an oval guy, so I'm going to get on the sim. Like Bubba was talking about in the interview yesterday. Got to get better at it, work on it, and just try to get better at road racing because it's going to be rough if I don't get better at it.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on your third place on the podium. Shane Trosser there for you. Congratulations, Shane.
Appreciate it. See y'all next week.
Will do indeed. Well, let's head on back to live as the sun's setting here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Track lighting firmly on. Oh, well, it's been another classic here in the series. As I round things out in the oval as well. Couldn't imagine any better. Thank you for you that joined me in chat and kept me sane at times. Very much appreciated. Great to have you all on board. But, well, that is all we've got time for here this evening. We'll be seeing you in weeks when we kick things off on the road section. We're live from Spa in Belgium. Iconic circuit for an iconic league. I've been Tim Cox. Thank you very much for joining me. Good night.